Hey Aquarius, this is your video, your bi-weekly video for tarot from the full moon on August 1st in Aquarius in your sign to the new moon on the 16th in Leo. That is tropical astrology. More than that though, even though, oh nope, not that card. Even though I'm mentioning what it's in for the astrology, more so what we're looking at is working with the energy that is waning from full to new moon, how that is the waning phase of the moon, right? How to work with that energy as opposed to against it, right? No matter what is occurring in the astrology, whether it's favorable or challenging throughout the month, throughout the phases of the moon, the one thing that we can count on, like the sun rising and setting, is that there is the undercurrent of releasing and waning that is happening at this particular time of the month. And then when it builds from new to full moon, there is that momentum building that is happening as an undercurrent in the background happening in life, whether we want to acknowledge it or work with it. And the reason I started doing these is so that we can utilize it, so that we can take advantage of what's there, and really work with these phases, be in alignment with them to our benefit, right? So with that, these are short and sweet readings. The more extensive readings for the month, those just came out as well. So if you'd like to check out how this fits into the overall context of the month, then you can go check that out. Those are up. And also the astrological highlights for the first half of August are also up with timestamps. So you can skip around to any date that you feel curious about or come back to it throughout the month. Highly recommend. There are a couple of dates that I'm like, I would put on my calendar. So, okay. All right. So here is what we are taking a look at. So, and the idea too here is to bring these into a more practical and useful way of working not only with the energy, but also with what comes through in these tarot readings, right? So it's not like so vague and just kind of like, well, what do I do with that? So that's what we're looking at. So what area of life is drawing focus and attention? We're looking at the 6th house. The 6th house has to do with your health, either health or illness, right? We're looking at that. We're also looking at your daily habits, right? We know that the habits that we cultivate on a daily basis are what are the building blocks that create the foundation upon which we are able to function, create the rest of our vision, what we want to create in our life, whatever that is, whether that's career or a family or whatever it is, doesn't matter. So that is what we're looking at. Also, we're looking at the work environment. So whether you work within a company or whether you have your own business, for instance, and you have people that work underneath that umbrella, we are looking at employees or even like freelancers, VAs, whatever, right? So that kind of thing. So these are the areas that we're looking at. So how do we put this in the context of the waning phases or the waning phase of the moon, right? So this is a time to do inventory. We can think of this like if you were doing spring cleaning and you chose a room in the house and you were then like choosing a closet, you would be kind of going through and doing inventory and seeing like what is of use and what isn't, what is outdated and needs to be like released, like what you need to let go of and give to like, I don't know, do a yard sale or give to Goodwill or whatever, and what is worth still keeping, right? So that's what we're doing. And given the fact that we're also in a Venus retrograde, I feel like we can layer that on top of this. We can take a look at the Venus topics of values and I mean, yeah, creativity is a part of it, although you'd have to see how that fits into this, maybe within the work context. And then also with our relationships that are harmonious relationships, whether they be romantic or not, right? Either way. So we can take a look at doing inventory in this area of our life and addressing what habits are aligned with my core values, doing a kind of inventory and review of whether your core values are still like around your health, around your day-to-day, around the habits that you're cultivating to create your life, around your work environment and the people that you work with. Like, what are your core values? Are any of those core values outdated? Do they no longer really fit you anymore? And if they, if they don't, cool, you can release that, right? This waning is the releasing. What can you offload? What can you clear out and create space for? Because that way, when we get to the next phase of the moon, you have more spaciousness to work with. You're not so like burdened and held down and having like your background energy taken up by this. It's kind of like programs running in the background on your computer, right? So you want to address this. And it can be as simple as like really the basics. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you drinking enough water? Are you getting enough nutrition? Are you moving your body enough? Like, these are really basic things, but they are also building blocks that enable you to have like the strength and the endurance to continue to go forth in your life with clarity, with energy, with focus, to create the things that you want to create in your world, right? So that, like, the good health is a real deal thing. If you're in poor health, it makes it a hell of a lot harder to go about creating the world that you want when you're super depleted and exhausted. So this is an area to look at and see, like, okay, how can I upgrade things, and what are the things that just aren't working, haven't been working for a long time, or that are not in alignment? And so in getting back in alignment, how can I release those habits that are not serving me? And then the spiritual advice that's coming through is the Judgment card. I really like this because we're talking about, like I just mentioned, upgrading, and also like the Judgment card is answering a higher call. So essentially, like, the message here is like, are you going to answer the call? Are you going to upgrade? Are you going to basically be in integrity and alignment and upgrade your frequency, your energy, your just like moving up to like the next level of yourself and your life? Are you going to heed the call, or are you going to decide to stay asleep and kind of look away and ignore it? So it's really up to you, like, that's like, you're being called out and you're being called upwards, not just called out and like the spotlight's on you for no reason, to reprimand you, but this is like to call you out and up, for your benefit, to grow and expand and to move to that next level and upgrade and up level. So I hope that this feels practical and helpful and insightful. And if it did in any way, please consider giving the video a like. It does help me find favor with the algorithm gods. Consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos on the horizon. Also, go check out your monthly video just to see how this fits in the context of everything. And I would definitely recommend checking out some of the astrological highlights video as well. So thanks for your time. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.